And welcome everybody to Hell and High Tales, the edgiest and gayest degenerate podcast on the interwebs, just slowly, anally fisting our way into your fleshy hearts. I am your host, Flashy J.W. Evans from the heavens, and I am joined by my chubby buddy, Will.
Hello!
Perfect. So, Will, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing about as well as anyone can do during a national pandemic.
When I fucking said how you doing,
living my life as normal.
When I said how you doing, I emphasized it by slapping my fucking shoulder for some reason, and I don't know why.
Yes, that thing I can totally see because we are sitting next to each other doing this podcast.
I thought I might have picked up studio. On the mic. Goddamn, but fucking. I won't mention where I work. I'm a manager at a place somewhere. But one of my bosses, one of the higher ups, is really cool as shit, dude. I love him. Love him to death. But I don't know why. One day he came in and he fucking put on. He was wearing gloves because spooky pandemic COVID season. But the whole fucking time he was there, every 2 seconds, he's just like slapping his hands together. I don't know if it was because the gloves made like a squeaky noise from there being excess air in them or what, but the whole fucking day he was like, "Hey, Courtney." Just the whole fucking time he was there, and nobody commented on it. Just the whole time, not a single person was like, "Hey, dude, what you doing?"
Hey, what's happening?
It was fucking hilarious. I love that, dude. Recently, Heather and I, my delightful fiance, human being, creature person, we have been going through, which is a project I've been meaning to do for a while, we've been going through a checklist of every single solitary thing that Hideaki Anno has ever directed. And, watching all of it, because we both have an obnoxious, love-admiration boner for Hideaki Anno. I don't think you've watched anything from him. Have you watched Evangelion before? That's his most popular
I have not.
work. Have you watched Shin Godzilla?
No, I have not.
Okay, then you probably... Those are, the two, most, mainstream things he's directed. So you probably haven't. He directed Shin Godzilla, Evangelion, Gunbuster, Diebuster, His and Her Circumstances, Cutie Honey, the Cutie Honey live-action movie, and he's going to direct Ultraman next year, and he's directed a lot of other shit. And all of it is really fucking good, regardless of what kind of source material, whether it's his own or someone else's that he directs, it's always really good. So we kind of made a checklist, and we're going through anything directed by him that we haven't already watched. So that's been really fun. Definitely anything directed by him I'd recommend to you as a thing to watch, because it's just always consistently good. I fucking love that man. He's a fucking Silver Fox, too. That fucking dude is old as dick now, and he is still a very attractive man.
Huh.
I'm not into fucking old dudes, but if I was, and I had to fuck an old dude, Kevin Nash and Hideaki Anno would be the first two fuckers on that list.
Interesting. Speaking of watching things, a few days ago, I started watching that new-ish DuckTales reboot from, 2017,
I think.
David
Tennant in that?
Yes, he is. He plays Scrooge McDuck.
That's kind of fucking hilarious. How is that, actually? I was wondering about that.
It is fucking phenomenal.
I have
never been I've never ever seen a an episode of any other DuckTales or anything like that, or had any interest in it. I saw a clip of it. I saw a little clip a few weeks ago of I guess one of the plot points of the show is one of them is trying to find out what happened to their mom. And I was just randomly browsing, trying to find shit to watch. I saw it pop up on Disney Plus. I'm like, oh, I'm going to give this a watch. And oh my god, it's hilarious. It's so well written. The humor is like, there's a lot of fucking humor that would be funny to kids, but is a lot more funnier when you're older.
Oh, that's great.
It
That
is
actually makes you
also
really happy.
the second children's show that I have heard randomly use the word anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Eh.
The first one was My Little Pony.
Huh. Well then. I sent you a picture of Hideaki Anno and then Kevin Nash. The Kevin Nash picture was an old picture, but I sent you a picture of, like, current Hideaki Anno. That man is fucking aged well.
How old is he again?
I don't remember. Let me check. Hideaki Anno. It's gonna be funny if it turns out he's way younger than I thought he was. He's 59.
Wow. He looks good for a guy who's almost 60.
Hold on. Let me send you this one. Let me send you this glamour shot of Hideaki Anno. Check out this fucker. Check him out.
Damn.
Fucking Silver Fox over here, Hideaki Anno. Hey, Hideaki Anno, if I suck your dick, can you make sure you don't delay the new Evangelion movie again? Like, legit? Because god damn it, that... he's been... Evangelion got, like, a series of reboot films. I don't like how I said reboot there. I pronounced it like a fucking idiot. But Evangelion got a series of, like, reboot films. It was retelling the same story, but not the same story. It's the first one, exactly identical to the first 6 episodes, for the most part, just with better animation, movie quality, etc. Second one, deviated a bit. Third one, entirely fucking different. Burned the whole script, restart over, everything's not the same. What the fuck is going on? And now we're waiting for the fourth one. Problem is, it keeps getting fucking delayed. A lot. It's supposed to come out this year, but I don't really know if it's coming out this year. Because, again, it has a long history of getting delayed. And Hideaki Anno has a long history of being like, hey, so I'm working on the fourth Evangelion rebuild movie, the ending of the series, and oh wait, what's that? You'll give me a big fat sack of cash to direct Shin Godzilla? Fuck Evangelion, I'm a direct fucking Godzilla! And then just completely indefinitely delayed fucking the Evangelion movie until Godzilla was finished and then came out.
What's an Evangelion?
God damn it. Have you actually never heard anything of Evangelion, though? I'm curious.
No, I know what it is, I've just never seen it.
Oh, okay. Definitely.
I know of...
It's on Netflix now, surprisingly, after all these years, so you should watch it. It is one of the greatest anime ever produced.
I know basic plot line: children control big robot mechas and
kind of,
fight
not
stuff.
Even exactly robots.
But also traumatizing because you can feel pain and shit. If your robot gets stabbed in the chest, you feel like you just got stabbed in the chest.
That's like the least traumatizing thing from that show.
Oh yeah, that's what I've also been told. I just remember seeing this clip of someone made a meme with something where a guy throws something and then this character from Evangelion, robot just gets impaled in the fucking face, and it's just a blood curdling scream.
I mean, there's a scene in this show where a dude jacks off on his friend's comatose body.
Oh, okay.
And then looks at his hand covered in semen and goes, "I'm so fucked up." Like, yeah, no shit. No shit.
Well, yeah, just a little bit, huh?
Fucking love Evangelion, god damn it.
That's a little, not okay.
Technically there is a gay relationship in it, so that's a thing you'd be into.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know what it means.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's queer baiting in it, Will, so you have to like it, right? Right? That's how it works? I wouldn't even say it's queer baiting, because it's straight up, yeah, Kaworu and Shinji genuinely romantically were invested in each other, till shit happened. So, it was, was like the only non-toxic relationship in that.
Huh.
But yeah, he also did Gunbuster. Gunbuster's really good. I don't know if it's on any streaming service, but I also recommend Gunbuster. I'm glad to hear the DuckTales thing's good, because I was really, really worried about that being good, but then I actually never went out to watch it. I looked up a lot of stuff about it when it was in production. It came out, just didn't watch any of it. You there, Will? You there?
Yes.
You fucking there, Will? You
Yes,
fucking
I just intently
goddamn
listening.
corpse. Jeez.
Oh, yeah?
Fucking biding time, waiting for you to chime in, and you're just like, just leaving me out here fucking dying. Waiting for you to fucking contribute.
My brain is like a Windows 98 computer, and sometimes it just likes to blue screen hard.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about hard blue things.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what you fucking think it is, you fucking pervert.
I don't know if you're talking about my... I don't know if you're talking about my persona, or Vaporeon, or both.
I was
Maybe just a pretty blue rock.
I was talking about your persona, Vaporeon, your increasing interest in Sonic the Hedgehog, and I was talking about how the entirety of the gay community has been blue-balling you for a fucking decade.
Hey, I already got it. I already found all the Sonic porn I needed back in, middle school, okay?
I love how you totally glossed over the fucking blue ball joke there. I thought for sure that would get a fucking reaction.
What do you mean a joke? Joke implies that it's not actually happening or true.
Will, did you get blue-balled by Sonic the Hedgehog before? Did Sonic ever go, no, you can't jack off to my porn anymore, and fucking ban you?
Yeah.
Will, what if one time when you're fucking, like, I don't know, jacking off to fucking Lucario or some other weird shit, and fucking, just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Lucario just fucking starts moving in the image, goes out of the computer and says, nah, fuck you, you're banned. Get out of here. And then just fucking all Lucario porn that you view on the internet just gets wiped from all internet.
I got rid of my Lucario folder a long time ago. It was taking up too much space, and I don't really look at it that much. Now my Vaporeon folder, however, is now at about 1,100 something images, so that one's growing.
I love how your reaction to that is, I wouldn't mind. Didn't get rid of it. Not that, I'd probably be really freaked out because a fucking picture talked to me. You'd be like, alright, cool thing, dude. Cool thing, Luke. You go on, do your shit, because I don't really fap to you anymore anyway. Cool beans. God damn it.
Interesting.
Why are you saying interesting when I was talking about your reaction?
Because I find my reaction very interesting.
Okay, so it's not Lucario you're jacking off to. You just have, like, a porn folder of yourself you just jack off to?
I mean, if you're counting the porn folder of NSFW commissions of my persona, then yes.
Oh, god damn it.
I have a folder of safe for work commissions and a folder of not safe for work commissions. The not safe for one has about 10 more images.
God damn it.
Actually, 13 to be specific.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A thing that has been disappointing, all things considered, is I gave a dude, I gave a dude 50 bones.
Jesus Christ.
What?
His ass must be destroyed.
What are you talking about?
You gave him 50 bones.
Oh my fucking god.
That's a lot of boning.
God damn it, you fucking piece of shit. God damn it, Will. You fucking goddamn. You 9/11 of a human being. I'm talking about money.
You 9/11 of a human being.
I'm talking about money.
The best fucking... That is the
I
best
paid a
insult
tall
slash
lady
rebuttal I have ever heard since the first time I ever heard someone say, "Go eat a 9mm sandwich."
I paid a tall lady $50 for pot, but then fucking coronavirus happened, and now all fucking weed stores are closed, so she never got a chance to pick me up shit, so now I'm just definitely waiting. Like,
Unfortunate.
fucking slaps some cash in her hand, fucking week later, pandemic hits. Now she's holed up in a fucking room, she's not coming out, the weed stores are closed anyway. Now what the fuck am I gonna do, like, 4 months from now when the shit's over, I'm gonna be like, hey, remember that $50?
Remember the Alamo.
Like, it's not like we had a contract, we didn't even text about it, I just slapped $50 in her head, so if she doesn't remember it, I just might be fucked here. I might just be out $50.
Like, you make a business receipt. Your signature.
God damn it. Fucking show up to her apartment, yo! Fucking pound the door.
Was it tap?
It may or may not be tapped.
I think they'll take. If it is, I think they'll take your word for it that they owe you $50.
Yeah, I know. It sounded. I know they would. I was keeping it vague because it sounded funnier. It sounded funnier to just say this tall lady.
This tall lady.
She's not even that tall. She just wears platforms all the time, so it just makes her taller. She's like the same height as me.
I remember when she bought like fucking obscenely tall platform boots back in Albany.
I think she still has them, I think. She might have sold them by now. But, god damn it. I mentioned tap a lot on this podcast. And it's funny because at first I thought it would get tap to listen to it. And I was a little worried, I'm like, what if tap
There's your first mistake.
What if Tap gets a little upset that I mention her sometimes on the podcast without asking? But she's never listened to the show, so if she did
she doesn't give a fuck.
Like, she definitely doesn't. Because I mentioned you on here, and she didn't listen to it, so clearly, if there's even a single fragment of a fuck, they would have tuned in and skipped around to the timestamp, but clearly they don't give a shit if I just name drop her on here.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I would like to take a moment for a random off topic, completely unrelated to anything we are talking about now. I would like to express how fucking bizarre some of the shit that drops out of the sky is in Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah. I thought you just meant in real life, and I'm like, what?
So
I was fucking lost for a second.
So, as a veteran of the series, you may not have been surprised by this at all, but me, the New Horizons being my first Animal Crossing game ever, I saw a balloon flying through the sky, and, I figured, I have a slingshot, so let me just try and shoot it down. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what it's for. And it drops a little present box. And in this present box, the first thing I ever find was a fax machine.
Oh my fucking god. Who the fuck uses a fax machine anymore anyway? Fucking the Secretary of State, Monroe County Community College, and nobody else.
In 2020.
There are
How are they even it's like payphone.
There are two places that use fax machines in 2020. The Secretary of State's office and fucking Monroe County Community College. That's because they don't have fucking funding.
And apparently any fucking government building, because the government takes about 20 years to fucking get ahead of anything.
Oh, fucking Christ. Oh my god, when I was going into fucking college, I was, when I first started college, there was this fucking big scare where it's like, well, you don't have your social security card. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. I kind of need that. I moved out on my own as an adult and didn't get given a fucking social security card. That's a little bit of a problem. You know, usually, when you are the guardian of a child becoming a young adult, and that child says, yeah, I'm going out on my own, I'm moving to Michigan, so let's see what happens. Usually, you're like, oh, okay, let me give you your social security card, let me teach you how to drive, and let me get you set up for when you go out into the world. But what my aunt did is she said, have fun.
Good luck.
Bye. Fucking
Later.
message her, like, hey, I kinda need my social security card, and she's like, oh, well, you didn't ask for it. Why didn't you teach me how to drive? You never asked me for it. That's because you complained anytime any of your actual children asked you how to drive. I'm not even your actual kid, so I wasn't even gonna try. You know?
And also, as the person who took responsibility for raising me, that's kind of your job. You shouldn't have to ask.
My grandpa pays you to do this. This is literally your job. You were being paid by my grandpa to take care of me. This is a financial obligation. It is both emotional because we're technically related, but it is also financial. And you didn't. God damn it.
Yeah. I had one job.
I had to have her fax over. And literally, the deadline was that day to get me signed up for this shit. So I was like panicking, having them fax over a copy of my social security card so they could use it to get me finished, signed up for fucking college. And I'm sitting there, I'm like overdressed, you know, because it's like when you first start in college, you're like overcompensating, right? So I'm like sitting there, I'm like wearing I'm wearing like a blazer, a fucking black turtleneck on it. I'm looking like Steve Jobs. My first day of college. I got a fucking turtleneck, a fucking blazer on. I got fucking these nice black pants that are fucking super tight. So it looks good on my fucking chicken legs. I got my hair all fucking tied back. God damn it, Will. 90% of everything I wear is fucking skin tight. I fucking dress myself like I'm a fucking sausage.
I can attest to that. He's telling the truth.
Yeah, but my fondness for tight clothing has not changed since high school. Fucking one time, this sounds weird, thinking about it. This might have been a weird thing to say to someone. But there was this person I met back in high school named Desiree. You know, black hair, black eyeliner, liked Marilyn Manson. You can picture the rest, had snake bites. Every other thing you could imagine she looked like was probably accurate.
Edgy emo teen, got it.
Every time we walked past in the hallway, it's fucking Albany, Minnesota when I was in high school. Piece of shit place, everybody there looked like the same fucking photocopied copy of the last kid you just saw in the hallway. They all look the fucking same. They're all fake Southern because there's nothing in Michigan to be proud
Small
for.
town.
So they just pretend that they're Southern even though they're all fucking of German descent. And they're all fucking dumb. Anyway, not many unique looking people there. So, her just with black hair, eyeliner, and a Marilyn Manson shirt was fucking way out there for this fucking high school, even though that's a high school stereotype. A high school stereotype like that was unique for Albany. And I dressed like, me. I'm strolling in, fucking gold belt, purple skinny jeans, fucking tight black shirt, a fucking, like, purple blazer with a black rose in it, and a fucking beret.
I forgot about the purple skinny jeans.
A fucking, like, a leopard print scarf. I'm fucking styling and profiling through these fucking halls of fucking wannabe redneck fuckers. And fucking... every time we walked past each other, we just looked at each other and we smiled. Never talked for years. That's all it was. Just looked at each other, smiled, like, hey, you don't look like a piece of shit. Hey, you don't look like a piece of shit. Byzies. Then one fucking day, we end up next to each other in a class. Actually start talking. I don't remember how the conversation got that way. I don't know if they asked me or if I brought it up. At some point, I mentioned Marilyn Manson. Apparently mentioning Marilyn Manson to this human was a fucking key to fucking their heart and their friendship and everything else. Apparently, that's all I had to do.
Is this someone that I knew?
I don't know. They were there while you were there. I don't know if you ever talked to her, but she was one grade above me. So I don't know if you ever.
If she didn't sit at that table with us, probably.
She did not. She did not. Anyway, we fucking talk. I'm not a big fan of Marilyn Manson, but I like Marilyn Manson, specifically the High End of Low. I like that album. I don't. If it is not the High End of Low, I didn't fucking listen to it. I listened to Golden Age Grotesque like twice, and I re-listened to the High End of Low a lot. That's about it. That's the entirety of my Marilyn Manson knowledge. I know a lot more albums, but that's the only one I listened to. So, I fucking mentioned that. Now it's like, oh shit, now she's ready to be my friend. That's all I have to fucking do. I mentioned Tap, because Tap likes Marilyn Manson, and Tap fucking super into Marilyn. Convince her to come over. At some point, I don't remember how this came up. I mentioned my fondness for tight clothes, and I'm not, when you're me, I'm not a small person. When you're wearing tight clothes, there's some jiggle physics that form.
With a bulge?
I don't know, at some point I mentioned...
Wait, what do you mean you're not a small person? You're a string bean. Unless you're talking about something else.
Yeah, I'm talking about skinny jeans. I'm talking about something else.
Ah, I see.
God damn it, Will. You fucking dick wrench. Ugh.
Hey, you're the one who brought up dicks.
God damn it, you fucker. Anyway, I hate you sometimes. But, somehow the conversation gets... somehow I mentioned that I'm wearing skinny jeans, and sometimes it's a little awkward, because it's kinda... I'm trying to position my legs in a way that's not crushing the giant bulge that is formed of compressed testicles. At some point, her response to that is, yeah, I know. I noticed. Very fucking blank. I'm like, oh, well, fucking shit.
Okay, then.
That was the point in my life where I realized, oh, it's not just apparent to me, and the dude I slept with, and gay dudes on fucking chat rooms I peek in once in a while, it's noticeable to the people in my high school. And this person, point blank in the middle English class, just looked at me like, yeah, I noticed that bulge. I fucking noticed. I'm just like, fucking shit.
I think they were hitting on you.
Yeah. She also had a boyfriend. So, yeah. Anyway, she comes to my house later. I'm like, pretty happy. I'm like, I acquired a friend. This is a cool thing. Goes a little awkward. Cause, we hang out with Tap, because I'm like, yeah, you'll like Tap, because she likes Marilyn Manson way more than I do. You'll get along great. Turns out, it goes from them hanging out with me and Tap to them hanging out with Tap while I'm featured in the room as a third wheel. And it goes from them coming over to see me to them coming over to see Tap, and them talking to us to them talking to Tap. Essentially, it slowly morphed into them using me to get the Tap. Which, very frustrating. Even my...
I've had that happen.
Except it gets worse, Will. Because we got double got. I got fucking... It turns out, this was a multi-layer fucking double agent plan. She fucking double agented me to get the Tap, and then they fucking double agented Tap and triple agented Tap to get the Tap's Marilyn Manson shirt, and then stole Tap's Marilyn Manson shirt and never talked to us again. And then she blocked our numbers, she ignored our text, and we never saw her again. Tap and I, years later, have still tried to message her to fucking, like, hey, can you send the shirt back? Hasn't fucking replied, has ignored us, has left us on red, and at the same time she stole the shirt, was lined up perfectly when she graduated from high school, so I never saw that fucker again.
all that shit for a shirt.
She prompted me to befriend Tap to steal her fucking t-shirt. And this isn't just a Marilyn Manson t-shirt. This is a vintage collector's Marilyn Manson t-shirt. This is some OG old school shit that you can't fucking get easy. And it's gone with this fucker who won't answer our calls. God damn it. I trusted you. The ultimate betrayal.
What a bitch.
For real, Jesus. I was also jealous because she had a better butt than me. God damn it. Anyway, you said that happened to you. Go on about that.
Oh, it's like not a special story or anything. I've just had a few times where I would become friends with somebody, and then I would introduce them to somebody, and then they would fucking start being friends with them, and then I would not really get to hang out with them very much because they lost interest in me.
That happened a lot at the queer table we used to sit at. I was pulled to the queer table by this girl I was in a special ed class with. Not long after I was pulled into that, she stopped being at the table because no one fucking liked her. And I was just doing that as a polite thing because we were in the same special ed class. Because her being incompetent at friends, I mean, not that I was good at friends at the time either, her being terrible at being a friend. We were supposed to help her work on it, so we kind of had to be her friend. Like, part of getting her to develop as a human being in special ed class, we literally kind of had to, to help her out. So, I was like, okay, I'll sit at your table. It was the queer table. Not long later, she stopped being there because no one fucking liked her, and she was kind of not nice to anyone.
Did anyone else refer to it as the queer table, or was it just the people that sat there?
I don't know, because no one else fucking talked to me. But I was the weird kid, Will. I wasn't exactly into all the fucking things that other kids were calling things. But
didn't I, for some reason, want to make a sign for the table at some point?
I think so, yeah.
God, that was cringy.
Yeah, I called it cringy too. I think I was like, aggressively against it, not like rationally against it. I was like, how dare you!
I think everyone was, because I was like some fucking stupid, ignorant, like, middle schooler. I'm like, oh, this would be like some cool thing for us. It's like a little club, because we're all friends. And then, like, later I realized, like, oh yeah, no, that would have been a horrible fucking idea.
I was like, aggressive, like, how dare you! But,
like, everyone else was like, no, that's dumb, and if for obvious reasons you shouldn't do that, and I was just like hell-bent on it for some fucking reason.
But I got to that table from that person, and then I became friends with Matt, and then through Matt I became friends with Maeve, and then I stopped being friends with Matt, and I was also not friends with the person who originally introduced me to the table either, and then you also moved. So it was kind of... I was...
To be fair, Matt was a shithead.
Yeah, Matt was a fucking asshole. Fuck you, Matt, you fucking edgy prick. I'll talk to you again, though, if you want to talk. But, yeah. I mean, maybe he's a cool dude now. Maybe he's become self-aware and he'd be fun to talk to now. However, how Matt was in senior year of high school is Matt was a fucking middle-class fucking generic McGee with a generic life and generic problems who couldn't handle that he wasn't fucking Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul, because in his mind, he was this tortured, edgy, fucking poor sad boy. But his life didn't reflect that. He didn't have any real problems to be upset about that really fucking mattered. So he had to make shit up, and he had to make his own problems. He had to be a piece of shit, so that way all his friends would fucking leave him, so that way he would just have something real to justify how fucking depressed he was. Fucking Matt. Here's the thing about Matt. Fucking, we were sitting there. Maeve. Maeve had a crush on his friend Ben. Matt also had a crush on Ben. I also had a crush on Ben. Everybody in the school had a crush on Ben because most of the guys in this school were ugly as shit and were annoying and fucking stupid. So everybody had a crush on Ben.
I fit all three!
Maeve was trying to go out with Ben. They had a nice, tender, alone moment. Oh shit, I pulled out my headphones. Hold on. God damn it. They had a nice, tender, alone moment where they were alone and Maeve thought Ben was gonna ask her out. And then fucking Ben's like, hey, listen, I have something important to tell you. Will you go out with my friend Matt? He really likes you. Maeve, dumbfounded. Maeve, shy as shit, sweetheart, didn't know how to react. She's like, I guess I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Fucking awkward as shit. Matt, next day, confronts her, hallway. Hey, you're going out with me, right? She doesn't know how to respond. He's really aggressive. She's panicking. She just says yes and blurts it out. And they start going out and start dating.
Boy.
Fucking time goes on. She's going along with it because she was nice and she was too sweet and she didn't know how to, like, break it off, so she was just going along with it. Matt, really fucking aggressive with it. Tries to force her to kiss him over and over again. She's like, no, I don't want to kiss you. He would just pout and act all sad and depressed over it and guilt her until eventually he guilted her hard enough to where she actually agreed to kiss him. Shit keeps going on. Eventually, she decides, okay, he keeps trying to ramp this up as more serious and serious and serious. This is never going to end unless I personally end it, and if I keep doing this, it's just gonna make it hurt more for everyone involved in the long run. She breaks up with him. Awkward as shit because, one, our whole friend group is integrated in the first place. So, now there's a breakup in the friend group, right? Whatever. They break up, and, fucking Matt starts going on about how Maeve abused him emotionally. Starts texting Maeve with lists of grievances. I have read these lists of grievances. These were 300, like, word texts. These were giant. He was, like, writing light novels worth of text as lists of grievances of shit that he says that Maeve did to him and emotionally abused him. And it was fucking horseshit. And he kept going on and on about it. And fucking Maeve's just like, leave me the fuck alone. Why are you being an asshole? We would hang out. Fucking Matt would, like, we'd be hanging out in, like, the woods in a field on, like, a mattress. This sounds weird, but we did weird shit. And Matt would, like, hey, Maeve, I want you to read this. And he would show her a list, like, fucking screenshots of all the conversations he was having complaining about her, telling people how much she was a piece of shit. And she's like, why would you want me to read this? And he's like, well, I just thought you should know. And then he would be mad and would pout about it because he wanted her to feel bad and to say, yeah, I'm a terrible piece of shit. And he wanted her to feel as bad as possible. And she kept not feeling as bad as he did, and he didn't like it, he couldn't accept it, so he kept trying to double down and be shittier and shittier. And what happened is, his friends felt awkward as fuck, because they cared about him, so they weren't ready to, they weren't gonna, like, stop being his friend, but it was awkward because he was blatantly being a piece of shit. Me, however, I'm a fucking asshole, and I was fucking ready to cut Matt out because I was more friends with Maeve anyway. So I was fucking calling him out on shit, being like, Matt, you fucking go show her stupid shit, and now you're mad that she's not mad about it, and you go off to pout for 10 hours while we're just all sitting here awkward. This is not what I said. I don't remember exactly what I said, but Maeve just like, Maeve doesn't like that I'm doing that either, because I'm like going overboard and I'm making it worse. Eventually, keeps escalating, going on for days. Eventually, should also mention, at that point in time, Matt tried to set the field on fire. He was trying to light the mattress on fire, and we were all trying to talk Matt out of it. He's like, "Nah, I'll make a bonfire with the fucking oil in my car on this mattress." And we're like, Matt, we're in a dry, tall field in the woods that is also dry in the summer. Don't light a mattress on fire in a tall, dry field in the woods in the summer. And he's like, but guys, it would be so fun. It would be so fun. No, fuck you, Matt. I fucking go up to him at the lunch table days later and I'm like, Matt, stop talking to Maeve. Stop being a piece of shit to Maeve. Stop fucking doing it. And he's like, I really am. Fucking whatever. We fucking stay at the table. He just stops talking to us, and finally, I guess it got to him, but fucking this guy, we had
Someone needed to beat his ass.
This guy, I show him a meme once, right? Because we're hanging out. We're like, me and Maeve are climbing trees. We're climbing trees, getting high. Matt's fucking, we weren't getting high. We were climbing trees high up. We weren't getting high. To clarify. Maeve is
literally high.
Maeve is pure, but we're high up in trees. Matt's just like, guys, you gotta get down. That's dangerous. I show him a meme the next day. The meme is like the two perspectives on life. One is a guy saying, "What's the point of climbing this tree? It won't accomplish anything. Life is meaningless." The other is a guy saying, "Life is meaningless. Might as well climb this tree. Woo, I'm having a blast." I show this to Matt because this is a perfect representation of my view on the world and Matt's view on the world, where Matt is a depressed, sad boy who tries to do everything he can to find stupid excuses to justify his depression in a reality where he doesn't have any real things to be sad about. And he be's a piece of shit to his friends and the people around him, so they get mad at him, so it starts drama because he needs the drama happening. Because if there's not drama happening, he doesn't have a real justification for being sad, and he needs it. So he's fucking looking at this meme, and I'm like, yeah, and obviously I'm the happy guy who's climbing the tree, because yesterday you weren't climbing the tree and we were. He looks at this meme. I say all that shit in my head, not out loud. He's looking at this meme, he's like, haha, this is so like me. The one climbing the tree. He said the one climbing the tree having fun was him. Motherfucker. We had this happen yesterday and you were too scared to climb the tree because you were fucking sad, you dumbass.
Motherfucker.
Always goes on about how his life was so shitty, how he had it so hard. I'm fucking sitting there like, oh yeah, you have it so hard with your nice mom, your nice dad, your middle-class house, your nice house by a lake with your fucking dog and your animals and your legion of fucking friends. While I'm sitting here
with your undivorced parents.
I am sitting here, the fucking
marriage.
Outcast of the school, fucking bullied by half the school. My fucking mom beat me my whole fucking life growing up until I fucking got carried away by my grandma who kidnapped me because she's scared my mom would accidentally kill me. My dad was a fucking drug dealer in prison, and then my grandparents decided, hey, listen, we actually don't want to take care of you anymore, so we're shipping you off to your aunt, who's gonna feel fucking guilted and responsible, and then she's gonna take you in. Like, yeah, you had it so hard, you fucking dumbass. Fuck you, Matt. You fucking idiot. I'm sitting there, I'm having fun with Maeve and Ben and shit, and I'm fucking making stupid YouTube videos of this fucking dude from across the street while you're sitting here moping over imaginary bullshit you have to make up to justify your useless moping. Fuck you, Matt.
You know, this is like, I think this is the third time I've heard this story, but I think this is the first time you've said it on the podcast.
Oh, fuck.
The moral of the story is Matt's a piece of shit, garbage human being.
Oh, God, I hope Maeve doesn't get mad at me. Maeve, if you ever hear this and you're mad at me for airing random dirty laundry you're technically involved in, sorry. You can like, hit me or throw something at me later if you want.
Across an entire state.
She is an impressive lady. Maeve is essentially Wonder Woman, okay? Maeve is like, if you would take all of humanity and put humanity in a tier list, like, based off of all of their positive attributes, Maeve would be fucking top tier. Maeve is a goddamn gem of a human being. If Maeve wanted to grab a brick and chuck it from Minnesota all the way to shitty-ass Monroe, Michigan, and through my window into my temple, she could do it right now and it would fucking happen. I have 100% faith in Maeve's ability to do anything, and I swear I'm not just sucking up because I just aired shit that I maybe shouldn't have. I swear.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I was gonna say something, but I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead. We have a minute and a half left. Will, go.
Oh no! I meant I was gonna say something about like the talk out stuff is on the podcast, but yeah. Oh, I meant the whole dirty laundry thing.
I figure I'm complaining about a random guy I knew in high school, so whatever. You know,
fair enough.
Whatever, it's Matt. He gets mad at me.
Yeah.
And texts me. You know? You left me on red in 2016. In 2016, Matt messaged me about how it's been so long since he talked to me. I talked to him a little bit. Months later, I messaged him and talked to him a little bit on Twitter. Leaves me on red. Sent him more messages. Left me on red. Hasn't talked to me since. If somehow Matt magically comes across this, guess what? Text me, complain about it. I hope you're a better person now. I hope.
Or alternatively, go fuck yourself. That works too.
Yeah, either go fuck yourself, or I honestly, if Matt somehow hears this, I hope you've become a really great person, and all of this seems completely bizarre and like a different life to you now. However, that's all the time we have for this episode. So, like the fucking podcast wherever you're listening to this to, and have a goddamn dandy day.